In this lesson, I'm going to give you 3 tips that are going to help you hit more greens with your irons. And tip number 1, sounds really simple this, but it's one that I think we lose sight of, and that's focus on your strike. We get to a par 3 here, the 16th at Warrington. And as a lot of people come onto it, we think, well, what's around us? How am I going to swing the golf club? How hard do I want to hit it? And we almost forget about making a good golf swing and actually getting a solid strike. If we think about our irons, what we are looking for is something where it strikes around here somewhere. If I'm towing it, if I'm heeling it, if I'm getting the bottom of the golf club, chances are it's not going my desired distance and it's not going in that desired direction, and I'm probably not going to hit the green. So a couple of things that I just want you to do when you get into your next iron shot. Number 1, be really clear on your basics. There's a lot of different golf swings out there when we watch golf on the TV, but what a lot of them do really well is they stand to it correctly, they get good ball positions, and that helps them, even if the swing is a little bit funky, actually deliver the club a little bit back. So when you stand to it, make sure you're not stood a million miles away reaching for it, or you're not too close to the golf ball. Try and just set the golf club in, let it rest, just see that the toe is slightly up off the ground, seeing that you could almost poke a pound coin underneath the toe or a quarter underneath the toe. Don't have it flush to the ground. From there then, make an athletic posture. Feel that the arms are just hanging pretty much down here. Don't feel that you're reaching them, or don't feel that you're tucking them under yourself. Just let them hang from there. Once you've got into that posture then, like I said, focus on that strike. Instead of thinking about how hard you're going to hit this golf ball or how fast you're going to swing the golf club, think about where on the face you want to do it. We've all got hand-eye coordination. We can train it. Think of throwing a ball. We learnt that skill as we were young. Obviously it's a little bit difficult here because we've got a small ball and a small head, but if you're focused a little bit more on getting that good setup, then thinking about trying to find a little bit more of the centre of the club face, that's going to take out those thoughts of missing it in the wrong place instead of swinging it too quick. You're thinking about, right, I feel good over this, and I feel like I'm now going to get the middle of the golf ball. And even there, a nice strike. It's just leaking ever so slightly, but I've actually, if you come in close here and have a look at where this divot is, you can see where the T-peg was and where the divot actually works. That was right out of the centre there, so it was a nice strike as I've gone through it, and that is step 1 of actually starting to hit better iron shots. As you go through it, focus on that strike, get some good basics. From there then, we can take a look at step number 2. Tip number 2. A yardage device. Now, as a Precision Pro ambassador, I'm lucky that I've got access to both of them, and some people ask me what's better, a rangefinder or a GPS as we go through it. Firstly, your rangefinder, that's going to give you exact yardages. So as you stand and you zap here, I can get the flag and I know it's 156 to that flag. I can see some of the trouble up on the right hand side of the green, but I can't quite see what's on the left hand side of the green. That's where something like the GPS comes in. If it's a course that you've not played at, if it's a course where there's a lot of blind holes, a GPS is going to give you access to see what's actually going on down the hole. And the good thing with the GPS and what some of the rangefinders have now is things that they can tell you where the front, middle and the back of the green are. And that is a huge one, because what I want you to do is start to look at the middle and the back yardages when you're out playing the golf course. Most amateurs, when they're hitting into the greens with irons, fall short. We think we're going to hit it better. We think we're going to hit it longer than we do. Ultimately, we don't do it. If you actually start to play more to the middle and the back yardages, chances are, even if you catch your best shot, you'll probably only just get the back of the green. Also, the benefit of a GPS, we can see more of the trouble. So like here with this Precision Pro one, I'm able to move around and see what the trouble is. So now as I go to make this shot, I'm full of information, and you might not even have the budget to buy something like that. go and have a look on the website. A lot of courses actually have hole by hole guides to each hole. You might end up printing them out, but once you're able to get into some form of measuring device, I would highly recommend getting into one of them, whatever it may be, rangefinder or a GPS. If not, like I say, course planner, because now I know that there's some bunkers there and I know how far I've got to cover that bunker by on the right hand side, so I can pick the appropriate club to get me by that. I'm going to look at that middle and I'm going to look at that back yardage, 144, 157, and I can see what I want. Some of them as well get really in depth. This one actually gives me wind yardage and has told me that it's actually going to play 2 yards longer because of the winds coming into my face. So I've selected my 8 iron, knowing that that can go 160 yards total. So if I catch it my best, I will catch the back of the green. I can now stand up here, focus on my good tip 1, focus on making a nice setup, focus on this strike. I want to get that middle of the golf club. Oh, it's a beautiful strike, and it's just fading off the flag and it's all the way back up to the back edge of the green. Let's take a look at the third and final tip that is going to help you hit more greens as you play. Tip number 3. We're all going to have a common shape of shot. Now, you might be starting out, you might be deep into your golfing journey, and you probably found out that you're a bit of a slicer, you might be a little bit of a drawer of the golf ball, but we need to understand what our ball does. You might hit it really high as well, you might actually hit it really low, and that's going to help you factor in what club you want to take and also where you should aim. If you're hitting it higher or lower, if you're hitting it lower, you're probably going to have to allow for a little bit more run. If you're hitting it a little bit higher, you're probably going to have to allow for a bit more club to fly it all the way to the green. Also, you're then going to have to allow for that shot shape, because if you're a certain shaper of the golf ball, i.e. a fader or a drawer, you're going to have to aim over certain troubles. Here, I fade the golf ball, but on the left hand side of this hole is out of bounds, hugging all the way down the green. The pin as well today is tight to the left hand side of the green. So do you know what? That flag for me probably isn't worth going at. If I was a drawer though, it might be worth me actually trying to draw one in. But if I went and got ahead of myself, if I let my ego take control and thought, I'm going to hit this close, I'm going to start it over the out of bounds, and I just tweak it, what could happen? I could end up hitting it out of bounds with not too much of a bad golf swing. So sometimes I want you to forget the flag. Understanding how you shape the golf ball and understanding how it's going to fly in terms of high and low will determine whether some of the flags are actually accessible for you. Today, this one isn't the one for me. I'm going to now play a little bit more to the middle of the green, and a good shot for me now is actually hitting this to about 30-40 feet. So if I can do that, understanding my fade, and I get the right aim, I'm more likely to hit the green, as where if I go flag hunting, chances are I probably won't hit that green. So I'm going to take my aim. We can see that the flags down this line, I'm actually going to aim a little bit off to the right hand side of here, and if I get my desired little fade, like I say, I should be a little bit right of the flagging target. Oh, I've bailed out on that one. I've pushed it a little bit because I was scared of that out of bounds, but do you know what? It's not the worst shot. I can up and down it from there. So 3 tips there that are going to start us to help hit more greens and hit better iron shots. Focus on that strike. Look at maybe investing in some form of yardage device, or at least know what trouble you've got, and then understand your ball flight. If you can do those 3 things for me, guys, you are going to start to hit better iron shots and hit more greens. Guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.